Okay, let's unpack this. We all know about Bitcoin's, well, incredible run, right? But what if a major CEO claims he's found something even better?
Mm.
It sounds a bit crazy, doesn't it?
Today, we're doing a deep dive into MicroStrategy's really aggressive Bitcoin strategy. And I have to tell you, the numbers we've seen in the source material, they're truly something.
Yeah, they really are.
We've gone through some really insightful reports detailing MicroStrategy's, let's say, unique approach to putting their assets to work.
Yeah.
And the financial outcomes are just, well, eye-opening.
Absolutely.
So our mission today is to cut through any, assumptions, look squarely at the hard data, and really try to understand what makes this corporate strategy not just noteworthy, but maybe a game changer.
And what's fascinating here is this deep dive isn't just for crypto enthusiasts. It's really for anyone curious about innovative corporate strategies, asset performance,
Yeah.
how things stack up.
And the evolving role of cryptocurrencies within, well, traditional finance. We're going straight to the facts, the documented performance in the sources to see the tangible results of this very unconventional path. It challenges a lot of established ideas about corporate treasuries.
Okay, so with that context set, let's get right into the central figure here, Michael Saylor. He's made this declaration that really sets the tone for everything MicroStrategy's done since.
That's right.
According to Saylor, the only thing better than Bitcoin, BTC, is, well, more Bitcoin. He's not just saying it. He's basically built MicroStrategy's entire strategy around that idea.
And it's really not just a casual statement, is it? His belief, based on the material we've reviewed, seems genuinely unwavering. MicroStrategy has just been consistently doubling down.
Doubling down.
Yes, systematically converting huge chunks of their balance sheet straight into BTC. And crucially, they didn't just use spare cash.
Right.
They actively raised new money through equity, so selling off bits of the company, and also convertible debt.
Which is like borrowing, but it can turn into shares later.
Exactly. Which shows, an extreme level of conviction. They're essentially mortgaging their future, to some extent, on Bitcoin's performance.
Okay, so the conviction is clear. What about the results? Did this huge bet pay off?
Wow.
According to data from Strategy B, MicroStrategy's stock, that's MSTR, has delivered an eye-popping 3,588% return. This is during what they're calling the Bitcoin standard era.
3,500%, yeah.
I mean, that number just jumps off the page. But for a company like MicroStrategy, is that actually sustainable? Or is this maybe just a flash in the pan we're seeing right now?
That's a really good question, and it's exactly why it matters beyond just that headline figure. What makes this could be different from just a lucky speculative bet is the consistency and the scale of their commitment, right?
Yeah.
And it's backed up by these documented returns over a period. So it's not just a quick crypto flip. It's presented as a deliberate corporate strategy that, well, the data does show has yielded really significant measurable results. It's backed by real documented performance, suggesting something more strategic than purely speculative.
And this is where the story gets, I think, really compelling. Because you might be listening and thinking, okay, MSTR did well, sure, but surely it couldn't have outperformed Bitcoin itself.
Right. You'd think BTC would still be king.
You'd naturally assume that even if MicroStrategy did great, Bitcoin, with its own massive run, would still lead. That MSTR would just kind of follow along, maybe with some extra ups and downs. But the sources we looked at tell a very different story. MSTR's impressive pump has actually far outpaced Bitcoin's price surge.
Even with Bitcoin doing incredibly well itself.
Exactly. Even with Bitcoin posting a huge 905% gain over that same period. So if you quantify it, MSTR shows more than 3 times the performance compared to BTC, over 3x.
Yeah. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, what it really highlights is why this leveraged Bitcoin play through MSTR has basically been one of the most explosive, profitable moves out there.
Okay.
Saylor's whole line, only thing better than Bitcoin is more Bitcoin. It doesn't just reflect how well Bitcoin itself performed.
Right.
It reflects that incredible sort of amplified effect when a company's whole strategy aligns around it and, crucially, uses financial tools that leverage to boost their exposure.
So leverage is key.
That's the leverage part, yeah. And it's what makes the returns potentially so explosive and obviously adds risk if things go the other way.
So it's beating Bitcoin, which is already amazing.
Yeah.
But it's not just outperforming crypto. The claim is it's crushing traditional investments too. That's a huge statement. How does MSTR actually stack up against, say, the giants of Wall Street?
Yeah, the benchmarks.
Yeah, the big benchmarks. We're talking QQQ, which tracks
Yeah.
big tech mostly.
Yeah.
SPY, the broader S&P 500, even GLD, the gold ETF.
Right.
And the numbers we saw, pretty telling. MSTR has just, well, blown them away. QQQ up 106%, SPY up 86%, GLD up 62%. All respectable, but nowhere near MSTR.
Indeed. And perhaps even more striking, as the sources highlight, is the underperformance of assets usually seen as stable.
Like what?
Like real estate represented by VNQ, which apparently delivered just 9%, and bond funds, BND, only 19% gains over the same time frame.
Wow, 9 and 19%.
Yeah. The analysis we read concludes this shows a really stark contrast, especially in a market where deciding where to put your capital, that allocation, has arguably never mattered more. And this raises an important question, maybe for you listening. What does this kind of data tell you about corporate financial strategy today? You know, what kinds of assets might companies favor going forward?
That's a great point. And while those historical returns are, well, history, it's not like MicroStrategy is just sitting back now. Just recently, the company hit another, frankly, mind-boggling milestone.
Things keep moving.
Yeah, it solidifies their position even more. On July 16th, it came out that MSTR stock reached its highest market capitalization ever. It closed at $455.90 per share after a 3% jump that day.
Okay.
This pushed their total market cap to an incredible $128.5 billion, with an enterprise value of $140.2 billion. So yeah, $128.5 billion market cap, that's bigger than a lot of very established companies.
It absolutely is. It makes you pause.
It really does.
And this latest rally, the data suggests, is being driven by strong performance, both in MSTR shares and, crucially, in that massive Bitcoin reserve they've built up.
Right, the foundation.
Exactly. MicroStrategy's whole valuation is now fundamentally anchored in its enormous Bitcoin stash, 601,550 BTC, the source said, which at the time of that post was worth over $72.1 billion. That was based on a Bitcoin price of nearly $120,000.
So it's almost like a publicly traded Bitcoin fund, but with extra layers?
Kind of, yeah. A proxy, maybe, but with that added corporate strategy layer on top.
And just to reinforce that recent outperformance, MSTR has also gained, get this, 174% over just the past year. Yeah, and it's being actively traded. The average 30-day volume was listed at $5.41 billion.
Yeah.
So it's not just historical data. There's continued momentum and interest right now.
Exactly. And I think what's really insightful here isn't just that they succeeded, but maybe how they frame it. It seems they treat Bitcoin less like a volatile asset just for trading and more like a foundational, almost like a sovereign reserve asset for the company.
Reserve asset.
Yeah, it's less a bet in their view maybe and more a complete reimagining of what a corporate treasury can be. That seems to be the real shift Saylor has pushed for.
Interesting.
And the financial success we've been talking about today, well, it demonstrates the potential power of that kind of conviction-backed, leveraged asset play within a corporate structure.
So what does this all mean for you, the learner, listening in? We've unpacked MicroStrategy's incredibly bold Bitcoin strategy. It's really exceptional market outperformance against, well, almost everything crypto and traditional assets. And its recent climb to these record market cap milestones, just a fascinating case study in unconventional financial thinking.
It really is. Maybe a final thought to chew on. Given MicroStrategy's documented success with this, leveraged Bitcoin approach, what might this imply for other corporations? Or even for individual investors thinking about capital allocation in this, well, rapidly changing financial world? Does this actually redefine what a corporate treasury can even be in the 21st century?
Moving beyond just cash.
Exactly. Moving beyond just traditional cash reserves towards something more dynamic, maybe even digital asset-centric. It's definitely food for thought.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into MicroStrategy's really groundbreaking Bitcoin strategy. We hope this has given you plenty to consider as you continue exploring these fascinating intersections of finance, technology, and corporate strategy.